BJP kitty.
Okay, and is that
shift?
And that's happening in
terms of absolute numbers, it might be small.
Yeah.
But it's a big paradigm change for me. This is changing the entire electoral landscape of India. Yeah. And it has a long-term possibility because Paranjay knows it. Paranjay, 15 years back, the tribal voters of India shifted from Congress to BJP 15 years back. Yeah, and till date, they have never gone back. Till date, they have not gone back. What these are the numbers and figures which my exit poll is picking out, and nobody is willing to talk about it.
So what Yashwant is saying is very, very relevant, and we will really know on Friday afternoon or Friday evening how accurate otherwise he is. Whether indeed we'll see a shift within the section of the Dalit vote away from the Bahujan Samaj Party, away from the Indian National Congress to the BJP, especially in states like Uttar Pradesh, which will be a very, very significant shift if indeed it happens. I am at this point of time keeping my fingers crossed because I don't know, and we'll know. I'm very glad also that Yashwant has agreed with almost everything I said. I just want to highlight or to elaborate on some of the points that I've been making. Let me just give you a few recent examples. In 1998 and in 1999, the BJP got 182 seats in both Lok Sabhas. It got 182 in 1998 and also got 182 in 1999. But the vote share of the BJP in 1998 was 25.6% and it came down to 23.8% the following year, but the number of MPs were the same. I'll give you another example. In 1999, the Congress got 28.3% of the vote and got 114 seats. And in 2009, the Congress got 28.55%, just barely 2% or 0.2% extra votes there, but the number of seats shot up to 206. This merely illustrates how uncertain the whole scenario is because we are following a first past the post system. A first past the post system also is winner takes all. So this is really the point that has to be made, that how difficult it is to anticipate the outcome of elections.
Okay, got it. Okay, Paranjay, just 1 second, Paranjay. Let me. We've got Dilip Cherian who's also joined us. Dilip, I think you joined in a little later. We're just trying to understand. The way we consume exit polls. Are we being too demanding in the way the exit polls are structured and delivered to us as products, and perhaps putting too much strain on the people who are trying to collect data, which is difficult in a country like India?
I'm glad I heard Kushan, Paranjay and Yashwant. And Yashwant and I were talking this morning about this. I think the pressure is on to show number of seats. And that's normal because of the way television channels are structured and the way discussions on television are devoid of too much space for real analysis, except from the point of view of the anchor who's doing the show. So I think that there is a pressure to just, trot out numbers and to get to government formation. But I think what Yashwant said just now is significant. It is sad that pollsters are not being asked to give their early trend analysis. And I think that's a bit of supply and demand problem.
Okay, Yashwant, if I can come back to you. So, two questions. First is, you said that, like everyone else, you've been learning from mistakes and, incorporating the learnings into subsequent polls. So, one mistake that you feel you've learned from, let's say, from the 2009 elections, that's number one. Number two, could you build further on the findings of your poll, particularly in the context of, you talked about the migration of Dalit votes into the BJP, which in your assessment was the first time that it was happening?
Well, the two lessons, one lesson I learnt in 2004 and one lesson I learnt in 2009. 2004, our exit poll for Star News projected 36% votes for NDA. NDA got 36% votes.
Okay.
Our exit poll of Star News projected 35% for the UPA. UPA got 35% votes. Paranjay, I am taking your logic even one step ahead. This bugger first past the post system comes up with a scenario where the party getting lesser votes gets more seats. Explain that to me. How on earth and anybody is supposed to make a logical conclusion while converting the votes into seats that the party which is getting more votes will end up getting lesser number of seats? So there you go. There is what 2004 explained to you.
Okay.
No oversimplification of India shining gone wrong.
Okay.
Nobody talked about this, that 2004 NDA got 1% more votes than UPA and still ended up letting lesser number of seats than the UPA.
That's right.
Number one. 2004 also I learned another lesson which I reconfirmed in 2009. There is no national election in India ever.
Correct.
There is no national election in India ever. India, as on today, I am trying to analyze 30 national elections within India.
20 years plus one.
I have stopped doing top to bottom approach 10 years back. What I have learned, India has to be a bottoms up approach. Start analyzing these 30 different states as 30 different countries, and then try to build up a national election scenario like we do it in European Union.
Okay.
And this is what is lesson which I have learned big time. It's
Okay.
a big, huge federation. 553 seats are to be analyzed as individual units. And these 30 states, now that we have got Telangana, by the way, you see...
Yashwant, just a correction on your numbers. We have 28 states.
No, 28 states plus 2 partial states. 29
territories.
I tell you, 29th is Telangana. Delhi is still considered a union territory.
Yes.
Yeah, but we consider it as a state because it has got 7 seats. I don't consider Pondicherry as a state because it has got only 1 Lok Sabha seat.
One.
All right. Still, we have got in Northeast, we have got states which are 1 Lok Sabha seat. Still, they are considered states.
Yes.
So,
Goa's got 2.
actually, what public consumption says 29 plus 2, for us, it is basically 54 states because we further block it down. Like UP for us is 5 different regions. 5 of them are as different as chalk and cheese. Maharashtra is 4. Marathwada is so different from Konkan. Konkan is so damn different from Vidarbha. And all of them are so damn different from Mumbai.
Right. No, so Yashwant, that point taken. So let me quickly, before I think Ayaz also has a question. I wanted you to dwell a little more on your findings. You talked about the whole transmission and the migration of votes.
When I calculate, I take 54 states. Yeah, in the migration of vote, then you start picking up the trends. And this has been an interesting trend for me in this particular election, that certain trends are looking more common across the spectrum. Like when I said the migration of Dalit votes, we picked up this particular trend in the December assembly elections in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh when we picked out that Dalits are shifting to BJP. In Delhi, we picked up that the Dalits had shifted to Aam Aadmi Party. In Chhattisgarh, we picked up that the Dalit vote stayed with the Congress. This was the December assembly election. And that was the first time that my antenna went up, that Dalits are no more swinging between BSP and the Congress, the routine way that either they will go to the BSP or they will swing to the Congress. It's not happening, at least in this part of the country.
Right.
So going into this 2014 elections, I had so far been tracking in the pre-poll surveys as well, figuring out that Aam Aadmi Party was going ahead or increasing their vote share in those states which used to be where the BSP used to be the third major party. So you will figure out Aam Aadmi Party is doing well in Punjab, doing well in Haryana, doing well in Rajasthan, doing well in Madhya Pradesh, in the state, even doing well in Maharashtra, where they had eaten up the RPI votes. So the first major shift during that period, pre-poll period, had happened towards the Aam Aadmi Party, when in our pre-poll surveys, we had started saying that Aam Aadmi Party is making inroads in these regions where the BSP had a substantial presence. Now, after that, our main interest was whether this trend breaches Uttar Pradesh, because Mayawati might lose Dalit votes outside UP, but within UP, whether she can still, this arithmetic, does it work in UP as well? And when UP trends started coming in, and we figured out, no, there is a certain big movement happening across Dalit votes across all the regions. Predominantly, they are going to Mayawati, yes. But from the 80 or 90 out of 100 Dalit votes to Mayawati in the last 20 years, that figure, it crashes down to 40 to 50, then something big is happening. And that is where the defining line is happening. This election, if Narendra Modi is going to win this election for NDA and BJP, he has to first thank the Dalit and the OBC votes in the entire bloc, which has swung from the Congress and the BSP to the BJP. That will be the defining.
So Yashwant, clearly, I mean, we've now understood that the vote percentage does not necessarily have a direct correlation with the number of seats. So that's one clarification. The other, which I find interesting and would want to know, has there been a wave, even this migration of Dalit votes, would you call it a wave in favor of the Modi or the NDA or the BJP particularly?
In Uttar Pradesh, certainly yes. Because in UP, if you pick up the electoral history, you will figure out in the last 20 years, anybody who is touching 30% votes wins the majority of the seats. 30% is very critical. And you will be surprised to know that even in the last assembly election, when Akhilesh Yadav won the state hands down, the gap between Akhilesh and Mayawati was hardly 3%. Not more than Akhilesh got 29%, Mayawati got 26%. Even then, Akhilesh did not reach 30% mark, and he won the majority in UP. BJP's best performance in UP was in 1998 when they touched 34% votes and they touched almost 56 seats in UP, that including the Uttarakhand at that point of time. This particular election, BJP is breaching 35% vote share in UP. And that's huge in UP. Because if they are breaching 35% in UP, that means, I can tell you the minimum number in that. That is 45 for the BJP. But I cannot tell you the maximum number in that, because once you cross 35% vote share in UP, you don't really know where your tally is going to stop.
Okay.
May I make a...
Yes. Kushan, did you want to say something or add something? I thought I heard you. Okay. Paranjoy, sorry.
Yeah. See, I want to add to what Yashwant has said. I agree with him that Uttar Pradesh holds the key to what is going to happen. We will really know on Friday whether Yashwant's numbers are correct or not. But the way I see it, if the BJP gets 50 seats in Uttar Pradesh out of the 80, the BJP is home and Narendra Modi is home comfortably. But if instead of 50, if the BJP gets 30 seats out of the 80 seats, then that could make all the difference between Mr. Modi becoming the next Prime Minister of India or not becoming the next Prime Minister of India. Or even if you have an NDA government, how strong that NDA government would be or how weak that NDA government would be, depending on the support it would need from other political parties. But let me tell you that yes, we will know only on Friday what happens, but just let's look at 2009 and just see how the opinion polls went wrong. On Friday, we'll all be jumping and screaming and shouting, so-and-so is going to form the government or so-and-so is not. And then 1 year later, somebody will sit and rework the numbers because public memory is very short. I draw your attention to Praveen Rai's article in the Economic and Political Weekly on 19th of April, Status of Opinion Polls, Media Gimmick and Political Communication in India. And you see what happened in 2009. The NDA got 159. But NewsX, Star News, AC Nielsen, Times Now, Headlines Today, NDTV, CNN, IBN all gave much more to the NDA. 197 by Star News, AC Nielsen. Same story. They all underestimated the UPA. UPA got 262, but everybody got it all wrong. The numbers varied from 191 to 199. All these opinion polls there. But where they went completely wrong was on the others, the so-called others. which is everybody else. I mean, there's something like about almost like 15 or 12 other political parties, and everybody gave others more than twice what the others actually got. The others got 79, but that number ranged from 136 in the case of Star News, AC Nielsen, all the way to about 180 in the case of CNN IBN. So all I'm merely
Paranjoy, Paranjoy, if you can hold your thought there for a moment. Yashwant, let me just come back to you. See, I'm assuming that in any exercise or data collection exercise like this, you're not really concerned with which the party is and which way the party is likely to swing, and that's not going to influence the methodology of collection. You're only looking at the outcome of the data outcome and then analyzing from there on. Am I not right?
Is this for me?
Yes.
Yeah, of course, you are right. I mean, every election is different, and it starts with the data collection and, of course, the representativeness of data. And even what I'm trying to say, even if you do everything correct, and even if you get the vote share bang on target as per the best of the survey estimates, you know, my 2004 survey, which is considered to be a blot on my career, not only mine, every postal career, that 2004 survey, from the survey science perspective, was the best survey because I got the vote share bang on target. My polling community in the global polling community, when I discussed this issue in 2005 with them, they were kind of amazed. You know, you got it right. Why are you worried? I said, I got the seat share is wrong. And then Bob Foster was to me at this side. I'm sharing this second time today because exit polling courtesy Bob Foster, who was the founder of Mori in UK. And Bob Foster walks to me, so Yash, what's the problem? I said, I got the seat share wrong. So why did you give the seat share? I said, you are supposed to give the seat share. He said, no, I don't give the seat share. I said, Bob, you give the seat share. He said, no, I don't give the seat share. And then he forced to look me and figure out that Bob Foster restrains Mori to give the vote share. He gives the seat share estimates on a blank piece of paper to the channel, and here goes the survey anchor. Well, Mori has given these many votes to Labour, these many votes to Tory, and these many votes to Lib Dems, and according to our experts, we feel that these many votes will translate into these many seats. So Bob Foster forces the news channels in UK to own up the seat share production on their own, because as a survey agency, he says, damn it, I am not going to own up the seat share no matter what. This is what Bob Foster does in UK and forces them to do. This is what Bob Foster does when Mori is polling UK.
I want to make a brief intervention.
Yashwant, I think you should do that yourself.
Every week, week after week for 50 years.
Okay, guys,
And
you know, we're sort of running out of time. Paranjoy, just one moment.
I should force my editors to do the same.
Okay, great. No, so let me get a couple of quick comments from Kushan and Dilip. You know, as we, you know, if you were to spin forward, Kushan, I mean, we've got many other elections coming, assembly included, and then of course maybe in a few years' time, depending on who you ask, it could be anywhere between 2 and 5. What are the lessons from here? I mean, if any, for us as media? Okay, I think we lost Kushan. Dilip, you want to come in on that?
Yeah, I think the lessons for media are very simple. That clearly media is not looking at the trend stories in terms of what is happening to large communities and why they are moving where they are moving. And the second thing they have to realize is that this kind of blanket coverage, while it produces temporary TRPs for them, are really blips in the way the new public, as it were, the young voter, is looking at traditional media.
Right.
If they continue with this kind of thing, there's bound to be a certain level of browning off of interest, and that's something that media is already beginning to sense very early, that people are no longer interested in wall-to-wall coverage that they seem to, that the media honchos seem to thrive on.
Right. Yeah, go ahead, Dilip.
May I make a brief intervention?
Yeah, go ahead.
See, what Yashwant is saying is absolutely correct. But what we need is, especially after this sting operation was mounted which has, questioned the credibility of many of the opinion pollsters. News Express had this sting operation, and people were caught on camera claiming that, they received money and they, sort of tweaked the results to suit the person who's paying the money. So, given the fact that the credibility, I'm not here speaking of any one particular opinion poll or opinion pollster, has been called into question, I think it's about time we need greater disclosure. And I also think that opinion pollsters should stop and say, okay, we'll give you the vote shares. It's up to you and your analysts to then extrapolate and arrive at seats. I think it will be very good if you put your foot down, Yashwant, and tell your community, this is where our job is ended.
I agree completely.
Okay, Kushan, I think we lost you for a second there. So the question I was asking is really, if we look forward, we've got so many more elections coming. What are the lessons for us as media when we, kind of demand these products from the pollsters or others, and could we approach it differently the next time round?
I completely agree with Yashwant and what Paranjoy has been saying. I mean, the next big poll will be this winter in Maharashtra. And as Yashwant pointed out at the very start, Marathwada, Konkan, Vidarbha and Bombay are four separate parts of that state. You can conduct separate vote share surveys in each of these areas. And while I'm pretty sure, Nagpur and Yavatmal will be very different also, even inside Vidarbha. But I guess that will be a start. I mean, we can subdivide states. We can subdivide Uttar Pradesh, for example, when we do these polls going forward. And, headline numbers, yes, they get the TRPs, as Dilip said, but, the scope for embarrassment also, both for the pollster and the TV channels, the news and newspapers is very, very high. So I think a bit more circumspection and a bit more conservatism by us in the media would be sensible going forward.
Okay, Yashwant, a lot of questions actually. So I think we've sort of encapsulated most of them. One question was, why is it that you don't share the raw data, or could you share the raw data going forward for all those data geeks who want to have a go at it?
Well, this entire question of sharing the raw data is so flimsy on the ground. First of all, it's not like that the raw data is not made available to the client. Any client who is commissioning the poll is very well within his or her ethical limit to ask for the raw data. Of course, for auditing, raw data is required. There are audits done by the clients also, by ourselves also. There are plenty of the clients who just ask for the raw data file. They just don't even ask for our analysis. We work globally and we know, even from the India surveys for many of the clients, they just don't ask us to analyze. They say that only conduct the poll and give us the file. That's it. So that raw data goes to them. But beyond what? This entire debate, the gentleman who started this raw data debate in his 20 years of polling professional career never ever shared a single raw data file till the point he became a politician.
Okay.
20 years of his polling career. So what I'm trying to say, that entire debate, he has done more harm to the polling industry in asking for the raw data.
Yashwant, I'm coming at it slightly differently. My interest was more, I love playing with data as well. So my interest is, if you could this data be showcased
raw data is available to the clients audited. Many clients just simply ask for raw data. They did not even ask for analysis.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
For the raw data, they don't even ask for our analysis.
Yeah.
There is no. But making the raw data public, that's an altogether different ball game. Nowhere in the world it is done like that. Okay. For a simple reason that when you enter the polling business or polling ethics, thou shall not reveal the identity of the respondent. Your respondent's identity is supreme.
Okay.
And just moving the name of the respondent from the database file is not helping that. You are still compromised. Yeah. You are still compromising the identity of the. If I am telling you this particular polling booth, I talked to 40 years old male from this caste group, working in this particular sector, educated to this extent, having these many family members in his family, 2 kids below 5 years of age. what the heck, are you not revealing the details of the respondent or not?
Okay. So you're saying privacy is the key reason that raw data is not shared, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And privacy is the key issue, and the raw data is given to the client.
Okay.
Majority of the clients only ask for raw data, they don't even ask for the analysis.
Okay, got it. So last question, Yashwant, before we sort of wrap up, here's, someone asks, what is the penalty for wrong predictions, or is it just a one-sided TRP award game?
Well, the biggest penalty for getting it wrong is 1 quintal of shit on your face.
Okay.
I have a final question. Yashwant, are you going to be on tenterhooks till Friday morning or Friday noon, or are you sleeping well?
Pardon?
Are you on tenterhooks till Friday noon, or are you sleeping well?
I am going to sleep well. After 20 years in this business, working across the globe, I have seen my fair elections in 40 odd countries. I am going to sleep well. I sleep with the good work which I do. I sleep with the idea that I tried my level best. My team had a hell of a job. There is a huge team out there, more than 1,000 people in the field, more than 100 people out here in my office. Come down to this office and see the action over here. All the youngsters, they are working 24/7 to get this data. We are sleeping well because we feel that we are doing whatever best in the resources and our capacity we could do. What results could come, that's entirely different thing. Even if we get the vote share right, the results could go in terms of seat share totally wrong, as we have seen in 2004. So we sleep well with the idea that we are doing well, we are doing justice to what our capacity and the way we could do, we are giving our best shot. That's what we can.
A lot of politicians are not sleeping well, and certainly not the top honchos in the television channels. I can tell you that they're on tenterhooks.
Dilip, no, this is not about whether you're sleeping well. I'm sure you are. But any one thing that you want to, you want to see being done differently the next time we have, this entire production of, polls and elections and so on?
I think media has to get serious with commissioning of the polls at regular interval.
Okay.
To do better polls, you need more polls, not less polls.
Okay, and more frequently. I think that's a good point that you made. Dilip, did you have anything?
Yeah.
I would say that I agree with what Yashwant has said. I think it would be good if pollsters were to get out of this competitive rut of having to predict seats and just give a time-wise analysis of how percentages are changing, and that would be a great feedback for governments too, and governments will wake up and start recognizing that these numbers matter.
Right. Dilip, thank you very much. Kushan, thank you very much. And Yashwant, thank you for providing much insight and perspective in this discussion and the understanding of and the science of the poll business. Wish you all the best. We hope you get your numbers right. And thank you very much, Ayaz, as well on the India Hangout. And Paranjoy, thank you very much as well. Goodbye.
Bye.